So again, the first thing we're going to do is factor out the coefficient of the x squared term. So this is going to be 2 times x squared plus 2. And then outside the bracket, we have the minus 1. And so now we're going to write this as a perfect square trinomial. And so 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1 squared is 1. So this is going to then be x squared plus 2, and I forgot the x here, plus 2x, and it's going to be plus 1 minus 1. And outside the bracket, we have minus 1. So now we have to pull the minus 1 out of the bracket. And so when we do that, we have to distribute the 2 to the minus 1. And so we end up with 2 times x squared plus 2x plus 1. And then it would be 2 times negative 1 is negative 2 minus 1. And this will simplify to be then 2. And when you factor this, it's going to be x plus 1 squared minus 3. And so there is the term, the 2x squared plus 4x minus 1 in the vertex form, or in the a times x minus h squared plus k form. So now we need to find the axis of symmetry of this, and the vertex of this graph is going to be then negative 1, negative 3. And at the vertex, the x term tells you the axis of symmetry. And so the axis of symmetry is going to be x is equal to negative 1. And that will be a vertical line that passes through the vertex. And you can graph this on Desmos. So if you go onto the Desmos site and put in y equals 2x squared plus 4x minus 1, you will get a parabola with a minimum at negative 1, 3, negative 1, negative 3. And that can then be used to generate the equation. Up to this point, we haven't reviewed the quadratic equation, but what we're going to need to do is use a quadratic equation to solve this problem, because this is too difficult to figure out any other way. So keep in mind that A here is equal to 2, B is equal to 4, and C is equal to negative 1. And so when you write out your quadratic formula, it's x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And so now when we substitute in for the values we're given, this is equal to negative 4 plus or minus the square root of 4 squared minus 4 times a is 2 and c is negative 1. And this is all over 2 times 2. So now when we simplify this, this is going to be negative 4 plus or minus the square root of, now this would be 16 minus negative 8, which would be 24 all over 4. Right, so negative 4 divided by 4 is negative 1. And then we have plus or minus, and I'm going to rewrite this 4 as the root of 16. So we have root 24 over root 16. And this really is just, this root 16 is just 4. And so what I'm going to do next is just write this as a complete radical. So it's going to be 24, root 24 over 16. And inside that radical, this fraction can reduce. So it's going to be negative 1 plus or minus root 3 over 2. And so the roots of the equation are x is equal to negative 1 plus or minus. So x is equal to negative 1 plus root 3 over 2, and x is equal to negative 1 minus root 3 over 2.